From now, I want all of you to treat each other with courtesy and treat me the same. Not because I need it. I told you last night about a Chinese Chinese disciple who came to me, and she was so humble. She meditates 10, 12 hours a day. That's why. That's why she knows who I am. I maybe have feel pain a little, but you are the one who has more trouble, more suffer accordingly. Understand that? Huh? You. You are responsible for your life. It's your life, your soul, your spiritual endeavor, your spiritual development, not mine. I finished with all that. I'm a free soul, but I'm not free because of you. I have to do this, I have to do that. I have to endure whatever because of you. Understand? I do that gladly, willingly, happily. So happily. Just that you yourself must take care. Understand, huh? To be good for your sake. Because it's terrible to fall into hell or in lower birth, even in this lifetime already. As much as we can go to heaven in this lifetime, we can also fall to hell in this lifetime. Depends on our action and our thought, our attitude, our concept. Do you understand? It's just a hair width of heaven and hell. Very simple. There was a Zen story. There was a person who came in with a sword in his hand and said, you have to show me right now about enlightenment or I kill you. So the master said, sit there, not feeling scared or anything. He said, oh, somebody like you opening the door to hell. And then he said, why? He said, even if I want to teach you, how can you accept anything? You're full of violence. Your head is full of anything else except sincerity, humility, and to truly want to seek enlightenment. How can I even teach you? So you might as well kill me and then go to hell. So then suddenly this person, kind of awaken and feel that, oh, that's not correct. Yeah? So he knelt down and said sorry. Really, sincerely, humbly sorry. Please forgive me. And just tell me when I'm ready, to receive your teaching, something like that. And then the master smiled and said, somebody just opened the gate to heaven. Just like that. Just a few seconds. This is true like that. Understand? Watch your speech, your action, and your thought. Always watch it like guarding a treasure. Because you have a treasure within you. You must protect it. Otherwise you lose it. Okay? Many people, even in India, disciples in India, in other school, other master, they also think that, okay, after initiation, master will erase all their past karma and say now they can do anything they want. Very wrong concept. Do wrong thing even, and then expect to have no consequences. It's not like that. No, you have to bear consequences. Because at the time of initiation, any master, be it from Beas or from other school, they teach you the concept, of being good, doing good. Maybe they don't say 5 precepts, but they say, do not kill, do not steal, do not tell lie, do not this and that, do not take drug, intoxication, but be good, be clean, tell the truth, be chaste, things like that. So it's not like you don't know. And after you promise to take that, you must keep it. Otherwise, the negative power have excuse to torture you, to punish you accordingly, okay? Because this is their word, this is their rule, it's like that. If you do this, you got that. If you do that, you get this. You understand me? Yes, talking about unfairness of this world. But this is the world of unfairness. But it's also the world of fairness. If you keep the rules like this, they do not touch you. They protect you. You see that? So just don't do it, that's all. Just do the right thing. And then fair or not fair doesn't concern us. Of course, we cannot tell the whole world. But you are my protectees, you know? You came to me and asked me to teach you, so I have to tell you. Even sometimes the truth is not very pleasant. I have to. Just like the Bodhisattva here, the hell and all that horrible thing, he did not want to tell. He would not enjoy telling this. But people ask him to tell so that future generation or that time generation people, they waken up, you know, to think again, to guard themselves from doing wrong thing. Yeah? It frightens them into thinking again, waken them up. Some people have to be wakened up with strong way of teaching. Some people gentle, you know. It's like your children at home. When your children grow up, you will know what I'm talking about. Or you have grown-up children, you know what. Some of your children are very easy. Yeah, you just say him something, he understands. He does it. And if he did a mistake, you tell him one time, he doesn't do it again. But some children are very, very difficult, right? They outright rebel against you. And no matter what you say, you use soft, and then sometimes you have to use really strict discipline, right? You have to be really stern to them. Say, okay, listen, if you do that again, you'll be grounded in your room for 2 weeks, 1 week, yeah? Read the books, study, no television for 1 week, for example, like that. You didn't want to, but then it worked with that child. Okay?
Most of the masters do not advocate supernatural power for fearing that we attach ourselves too much to the spiritual materialism. And therefore, we have not the interest and the strength enough to go further into a higher realms of realization. In India, there was a story about a king. He was a very good king and loving to his subject. Now, one day, he arranged that all his possessions, treasures, will be given to the people at large. Whoever needs anything can just come and satisfy him or herself at the exhibition without any condition at all. Because he has no children and no family ties, so he loved his people as his own. Everyone came and picked something of his heart's desire. But there was one girl. She came and goes straight to the back of the, probably the room or the place where the king exhibited all his possessions, and put her hand on his shoulders and asked, "Are you also available?" And the king was surprised. Say, "Why? Didn't you like any of the things that I have laid outside?" So the girl said, "No, I only like you." So, and then, of course, the king was very happy that somebody likes him for himself alone and not because of his treasures. Of course, then the king availed to her, and then they got married, something like that. Live happily ever after, as we should be. And you know what happened? The girl did not want anything, but the whole nation belonged to her, including all these subjects and all these objects. Therefore, in our path, we also do not advocate the miracle power. Doesn't mean we don't have. After the great enlightenment, or even small enlightenment. We have all the powers that we want. But then we will have so much that we don't even know how much power we have. Instead of clinging to a corner of the house, we have the whole house and included that corner. Some people, before coming to learn this immediate enlightenment method of the heavenly light and sound, they have also tried to practice in many other meditational ways. And they have also achieved probably somewhat of the city's power, or the power of seeing very far away, or hearing something which is not in the vicinity. For example, I sit here and I can see what happened in London, or I can hear what happened in Paris. Yes, this is so-called CD powers. Or probably we can read the other people's mind, see what he's thinking about us. Yeah. Wow, this is probably good for the spy, for the people who are doing 007 or something like that. But then after they have become initiated into our path, and somehow they lost these powers. Or maybe they have seen some better things or know better knowledge that they have begged the Master to take away this city's power from them. There are two reasons for this. First, probably they've gone too high, higher than the city power level. So they have overlooked the previous miracle that they have possessed. The second reason why they have not lost this power and begged the Master to take them away, it is because they probably still cling to this power somewhat in their mind. And so the Master let them have the choice to forsake it themselves or not. Because after you have gone into a little bit further region of consciousness, a higher level of being, then you will feel that these cities, so-called power, are more hindrance than help to our spiritual progress. Therefore, we automatically do not want to use them. Suppose you sit here in samadhi, in a very tranquil state of mind, where you are in a super awareness of your true self, and you have no desire absolutely for heaven and earth. And then you see something happen in London, which is very gruesome. And then you can't do nothing about it. Would that make you feel comfortable? No, not really, right, you're correct. Yeah, you feel more frustrated, and then you get more upset. And you have tried to attain the state of peace of mind, and here you are, feeling very frustrated and miserable about somewhere else's condition, of which you cannot do absolutely anything at all. Or maybe you see to somebody else's heart or mind, or you see into your wife's heart and see that she's loving the neighbors and not you. And then could that be helpful when you're sitting in meditation? No. And suppose somebody bearing a lot of hatred against us, and then we have the power to penetrate his mind. That would be a very uncomfortable feeling for both. Because most of the people have sometimes very uncontrollable feeling, uncontrollable emotion within themselves, which might or might not have nothing to do with them. And if we get to know all these things, it's only useless. And then we always worry about this mundane level, and we can never get into the beyond in order to merge ourselves in the greatest wisdom. There are a lot of spiritual happenings in our century, and therefore it is good for us, very good for our people in this age, to know so much about the superpower within ourselves. But sometimes it also confuses us as to follow which direction, because mostly we will be tempted by the so-called immediate result, like a miraculous power or healing ability, and seeing through the walls, or walking in the space, etc. That we forgot what is the main purpose of practicing meditation or getting to know spirituality at all. It shouldn't be really. Because when we know our true self, the supreme wisdom inside, we will know everything. That, I think, is the best measurement, the best standard to judge which path we should concentrate on. Therefore, Jesus also says, seek you first the kingdom of God, and all other things shall be added unto you. The kingdom of God is not something that is very far away in heaven. It is here right now. And we have them all within ourselves. We only have to unlock it and use it every day. And then we will see how better a person we become, how wise, how loving, and how satisfied a person we will become.
The Buddha one time wanted to cross a river, and there was a boat, and he was about to cross with the boat. And then there was one guy next to the Buddha, he's showing off, something like, how can the Buddha even walk through the river on the water? Why he has to take a boat? So the Buddha asked him, how many years you practice? And then he just walked on the water. You know that guy? Yeah, the one who talked to the Buddha, he walked on the water to show off. And the Buddha asked him, how many years? How long did you practice until you get this power? He said, about 25 years. So he said, I have only 25 corn. I can cross, on the boat. The Buddha has always looked upon these children tricked with not very respectful attitude. He always told Maudalayana, tell him not to use magical power anymore, but he cannot help it. He get used to it. Yeah, he followed the Buddha, but he cannot forsake everything, except his hair and maybe his house. Yeah. So finally, he died by higher magical power. Maybe not higher, but they gathered together, many of them, to counter him alone. So he alone cannot, wasn't able to withstand their united power, because they was very angry with him. Maybe many times he make fun of them or something, or defeated them. So they were very angry. Yeah. So finally they gathered together, different sects, and then they killed him. He died tragically. You know already, right? I told you already. You better take care of yourself. Whatever you want to do, the best is you do it yourself, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Your mouth only good at criticizing and talking nonsense. And when the good occasion arrives, you don't talk good. That's no good. Change it. Yeah? Change it. Change the habit, okay, of negative thinking and expression. Make it positive all the time. Even if it doesn't work, you don't lose nothing. At least somebody hears something positive next to you, they're happy, right? Yeah. What for saying some negative things, even when it doesn't happen? Yeah. So we should just always say something good, hoping it will come true. Even if it doesn't come true, well, so what? Most of the things in this world don't come true. Okay? We don't care, right? We don't care if it comes true or not. Life goes on, eh? And we'll be happy, yeah, to live the way it is. Even if we're not happy, so what? Who cares? Yeah? I was in Italy and I went to a restaurant, no, not Italy, in Monaco, went to a restaurant to eat. And then I talked to the manager, you know, he was very kind to me, and I said to you, wow, being a manager of the restaurant must be very, very tough job. And to please the customer all the time, you know, some difficult one must be very stressful, difficult for you. But I saw you always smiling and saying always nice things, at least to me. Do you say all nice things to all the customers? He say, yes. That's our job, to make customer happy. Yes, no matter what. For us, the customers here are kings and queens. So, wow, very good. How do you do that? So he said to me, in Italy, he's Italian. He worked in Monaco, but he's Italian. So he said to me, in Italy, we have a saying that the bird in a cage, whether or not he sing happy song or sad song, it's the same. So he should sing happy song. Yes. And I don't know which country, but something they say like, if you are already on the pirate ship, then stay there. Stay, don't jump. Don't try to escape and jump into the sea. It's useless. You might die. If you stay on the pirate's boat or ship, maybe you have a chance to survive. So just cooperate with the pirate. Yeah, that's what they say. Yeah.
Master, at the end of the last conference, Master asked us to remind you about the Korean leaders, that if you had any affinity with them, because we asked and you didn't think about it nor checked on this at that time.
I see. Yeah, I was one of your queen before and king before. And these two leaders.
Wow, two leaders.
They are friends. They're my friends. Huh? What? What? Wow.
Oh, the two leaders were Master's friends?
Yeah. Well, I don't remember. Don't say anything. Especially the North Korean leader is a good friend.
Oh, wow.
From my life. 200 years ago, we were still together as friends. But of course, I won't remember anything. Well, you can see the way he behaves, yeah?
Yes,
Master. He must have some spiritual inclination in him, you know? Some spiritual seeds in him, yeah?
Yes.
Some spiritual tendency inside him, in his soul. The way he behaves is a very gentle and happy and kind person, huh?
Yes,
and easygoing and really for peace so fast. I don't remember very much detail. I don't want to go into the past. It's not always good. There was a queen of Korea. I was one time. This queen, she was very good and wise. The queen who ruled the country even, not just the queen of a king.
Yes, Master.
First, she was the queen of a king, but later she ruled the country for a while. Until another bad king come and make trouble, and then she had to retreat somewhere, maybe in the north area, to the north or something.
Yes, Master.
Also, sometime I was king also. Not only that time.
Wow, 2 times, not just 1 time, Master.
No, not just 2 times, several times.
Wow.
Just 1 time was a queen, okay? One time was a queen, ruler queen.
Master, I did some research. I think I know the queen you're talking about.
Yeah? I don't remember Korean name, sorry.
Could I please share a little bit?
Yeah, tell me.
Oh, so there was one queen who actually did rule, as Master say, as the only monarch, Seondeok Yewang, Queen Seondeok of the Shilla Kingdom, in the early 7th century. And I just wanted to share that I found out that she was really generous and benevolent and wise.
Yeah.
She helped Korea survive difficult times during the warring 3 kingdoms through diplomacy. And she would do things like send out inspectors to make sure that the vulnerable people were taken care of, and she reduced the taxes. She was a devout Buddhist.
Yeah. That's what she was. Yes.
Yes. Wonderful, Master. And there was also another great king, and I'm just guessing, but I think Master was 세종대왕 of the 15th century, and he's known more of like a scholar. He himself was a gifted linguist, and he was very famous for creating the Korean phonetic alphabet. He was so compassionate. He wanted to give his subjects an alphabet so they could read and write. Otherwise, they'd have to learn Chinese, which is hard. So, and of course, culture and literature flourished under his reign as well.
Not just about the language, Yes. At that time, China was kind of overpowering Korea because Korea is small, So the Korean has to be strong and more independent. That's why the king created this, okay? So that the Korean people had an identity and they become more independent and themselves and Korean instead, okay? At that time, most of the old time they call themselves Kaoli. From Chinese name is Kaoli, meaning high and beautiful. Gao means high, and Li means Mei Li. Mei Li in Chinese means beautiful.
Yes, Korea.
Yeah, but in Chinese it's called Cao Li. Cao Li and Ta Han, or your country's name. Sometimes the Vietnamese still refer to your country as Cao Li. We have also in Chinese, we have Cao Li Chai.
Yes.
Cao Li Chai means the cabbage. They call it Cao Li Chai. Yeah, cabbage. They call it Cao Li Chai, which means the vegetable from Korea. Korean vegetable. Maybe at that time only Korean has this kind of cabbage. And now we have it everywhere, or maybe before the transportation or the communication between countries are not that convenient. So the Chinese only know this vegetable from your country, or Cao Li Chai. Cao Li means your country. A high and beautiful vegetable. I guess that's what it is. You already feel like I have connection with your country. That's why you did research in advance without telling me. Thank you for telling me.
Master, I just wanted to do research to prepare, and I thought Master would be only one of those rulers, but Master was both.
Yeah. Two, at least two.
Wow. At least two. That's incredible.
Let me look. Only 3 times, actually. 2 times kings and 1 time queen. Oh, better than nothing? Better than nothing, yeah? And I must have been those good kings because I cannot be bad. Can I? No. I have been in this planet, a long time. Become kings and queens and founders of many religious monks and nuns order. I was also Pantajali. You know Pantajali, one of the very famous monk, founder of Pantajali spiritual school in India for monks.
Yes, Master.
Very strict monk order. Okay, because sometimes they say they are monk and nun, but they married and all that stuff. But in the Pantajali system, it was very strict. Okay.
Yes, Master. I understand.
It's just like the system in Tibet with Tsongkhapa, real monk, real nun, not married, no girlfriend, nothing. These spiritual leaders, they form monks' order, then it's really monks, real monks. Asceticism, not too extreme, but pure, okay?
Yes, Master.
Celibate, what do you call that? Celibacy, yeah? Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, they uphold that. Any other question?
Yes, Master.
Any other want me to be king and queen in your country?
If we did something wrong to someone, even coincidentally or intentionally, we will reap it. Someday, some lives, many hundreds or many thousand years later, it will bear fruit. There is nothing that happens without reason. There must certainly be some antagonism from some previous birth. You see, you understand? Past life, trouble with each other, somehow. Accidentally or on purpose. If we did something wrong to someone, even coincidentally or intentionally, we will reap it. Someday, some lives, many hundreds or many thousand years later, it will bear fruit. Like the Buddha said, he just kicked the head of the dead fish, already dead, just to see if it's still dead or not. Then he had headache in the present life when he was Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha. Many other things, yeah. Being in this world, we can never be immune from making karma. That is a problem. If you remember all the stories I read to you about the Buddha's past lives, you will remember. Or maybe many stories I did not tell you. Even the Buddha, who had been Buddhas for eons already, before he became Shakyamuni Buddha, before he keep reincarnating on this planet to make affinity with other beings, before, he had already been a Buddha. That's what he said, yeah? And that's what he was. But still, when he came back, when he reincarnated as humans, he made many mistakes. Either provoked by situation, others, or circumstances pushed him to do that many, many times. And then he had to reap the consequences in other lifetimes. Even Lord Mahavira, in other previous reincarnations, he had done something also not very benevolently to someone else. Probably that someone else, if we look further, long time, far into the existence of all the beings, we will probably see that that being probably had done something to him. And then he, in that lifetime, did something back to him, pushed by inconceivable force of karma that you could not even resist. With all your might, with all your wisdom, with all your knowledge, with all your learned and practiced meditation and virtues, you still had to go with that flow, with the karma. So actually, it is true, it's said here that nothing happened without reason, even though we did not see the reason. It's not apparent that this reason caused that thing to happen. No. Okay, huh? So in this lifetime, even if we are initiated, and even if we meditate a lot, things still do happen to us sometimes, even though lessened to some degree, lubricated to some extent, we still need to bear it. All right? Even the masters, no exception. Even the Buddhas, no exception. More or less, we do have to pay anything that we incur, any debt that we incur from the past many lifetimes that we don't even remember, or even remember. Remember or not, we must pay, okay? For example, why Shakyamuni Buddha has to refer to Amitabha Buddha in order to save one of his followers in jail. The queen was in jail because her son make evolution or something, and then etc. Yeah, that's a long story. And she was in jail, and she was praying to Shakyamuni Buddha to save her, to help her. And then he appeared, not like, not physical, yeah, a light body, yes. Just like yesterday, some of your sisters say, I was behind her on the bus or next to the bus. I wasn't there. It was just light transformation, transcendental or light body, okay? Remind me, Amitabha Buddha, before I forget, because the calendar goes on. Amitabha, remember that? Remember, tell me if I forget. Because I'm on another subject now, which is related. Because you see, one thing lead to another, and I go on forever. Even it seems very long to you, but the information I give you is just this much compared to what I have. what I can access and what I know. Like the transformation body, sometimes you see Master in your living room or in your bedroom or on the street, giving you sample booklet. It wasn't me. I'm not going out giving anything anywhere, anytime. It's not my job, okay? I don't have time to go out and give sample booklet or direct you to where you wanted to go. It was the transformation body. It was the light body. Master has many bodies, can manifest body anywhere when necessary. But it's not necessarily that you can see. Some can see, some cannot. Okay? That's all. But doesn't mean Master is not there. Now, Sakyamuni Buddha, of course, he has tens of hundreds of thousands of manifestation body or light body or transcendental body, meaning that body doesn't need to be in one place. It can go anywhere, transcend the time, space, and all obstacles. Yeah. So he used one of his transcendental body to manifest himself in jail, to talk to the poor queen. And it's a transcendental body. He didn't give the initiation there, of course not. That needs some physical instrument, okay? So he tell the queen to recite Amitabha Buddha's name. Yes, Amitabha Buddha is ancient Buddha, ascended Buddha already. So therefore, it's a different dimension. Her soul can access it, yes. But in this physical dimension, it is needed a physical instrument, okay? Otherwise, the Buddhas or the saints or, Master would just stay in heaven and just transmit information. Need a Master, physical one, to open the eyes, to open a true hearing organ so you can hear the celestial vibration, you can receive it. Not actually hear, because we don't use the ear. It's just in this physical world we have to say that we hear the inside sound. We see the inner light. But actually we don't see because the eyes are shut. You just use the inside eye, the true eye. And when we so-called hear the inner sound, we use a true ear. And the Master can open that. A Master in the physical body and use another physical body even can do. But must have a physical body. So the Buddha has to manifest himself with his transcendental body to go into jail, because he cannot go in physically, even if he wanted to. Yeah, the queen is not allowed to see anyone, least of all the Buddha. The prince did not want that. Yes, didn't want her to have any comfort of any kind, physically, mentally, or emotionally, or spiritually. It was a very bad son. Some former enemy or some bad affinity. It's not necessarily the prince's fault. It just had to happen that way. For example, one time one of the king, he wanted a son so much, yes. And one of the yogi was alive, promised to be his son, yes. But the king forced him to die quick, so that he can have the son quickly. And the yogi told him, if you force me like this, I'm going to be your enemy. If you force me to die before my time, I'm going to be your enemy, and etc., etc. Many other things happened. Very bad for the king, but he did not listen. The king did not listen. Therefore, the prince, after he's born, grown up, turned out to be the king's enemy. Okay, huh? Yeah, for example, like that. So now, maybe it's the same story. It doesn't matter. I just want to point out to you that everything should be in a natural process and not being forced to happen. Yeah? Otherwise, things will turn out not as we wish, but maybe the opposite result will come out. So the Buddha manifested himself into the jail and talked to the queen, telling her that in this situation, she should be patient and be more inward, more spiritually inclined. Don't worry about the outer situation because it doesn't help. And whatever happened to you in this physical life, even if it's painful, sorrow, or happiness, or wellness, it's transient, temporarily only. So not to worry about it, be calm, have peace, be forgiving, and concentrate on now, of the instruction that the Buddha tell her that she should practice all the time. And take the time that she's in jail, that she has no responsibility, and nothing can harm anymore. Yes. So she take the time to practice the Amitabha method. So the Buddha has told her how to recite the Amitabha Buddha's name and how to imagine the Amitabha Buddha's land, how beautiful, etc., etc. Every day she has to imagine that in her mind and reciting his name continuously without any interruption, without any other thought, as much as she can, until she has only that name and all these beautiful Amitabha Buddha's land in her mind, nothing else. Yes. Then even if she dies, she goes straight to Amitabha Buddha's land and nothing can happen to her. Yes. All right, so the Buddha say this and that. Now you understand why the Buddha did not tell her, because she wasn't initiated. And this is a transformation body only, yes? Number one. Number two, Shakyamuni has not much affinity with her in the past. He has seen that she has affinity remotely, far, far, eons, kalpas of time that you could not even name, you couldn't even count. She was having some good affinity with Amitabha Buddha when he was physically in some planet, not necessarily on this planet, other planet. Otherwise, the Buddha would have told her, maybe recite Kuan Yin Bodhisattva name, maybe recite medicine Buddha's name. There are many other Buddhas who could help sentient beings as well. Yes. But through the transmission of the physical Buddha is more efficient. Yeah. So even if, for example, if the master told somebody to recite the Buddha's name, then the master has charged that Buddha's name with his or her power. Therefore, when the person recited, it's different than when he just read in the book and happen to know Amitabha Buddha name and recite it.